Right now at 10, how police say they make the call whether to initiate a chase after two brothers are killed in a pursuit.
And we are hearing from the president of Edgewood High School tonight, a day after the school filed a federal discrimination lawsuit against the city.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
And thanks for joining us tonight. The Columbia County District Attorney says the officers involved in a high-speed chase that resulted in the deaths of two brothers earlier this year will not face any charges.
The crash happened on April 29th along I-39 near Portage. This video was just made public today. Officers say they were chasing a kidnapping and substantial battery suspect. Speeds reached more than 100 miles per hour, and moments after spike strips were used, the two crashed into the back of a semi-truck. The Department of Justice says the officers involved made decisions that were, quote, reasonable under the circumstances.
The law enforcement we talked to said this is a very difficult decision to make, and Amy Reed joins us now with more on the process behind the choice to chase. Amy?
An officer only has a few seconds to make that decision, and there's a lot that they're trained to look at before they make the call. I spoke with multiple agencies to find out how they do it.
It's a very difficult decision to make, and things happen in a split second.
Lieutenant Kurt Pierce has been in this situation a number of times. A high-speed chase on the interstate that ended with them both dead.
You sympathize with everybody involved. You know, when someone loses their life, that person's never coming back. You also sympathize with the officers and that you know their intent. They were trying to do the right thing. They were trying to take someone into custody and also preserve property.
Pierce said officers must consider the threat the person fleeing poses to the community, the experience the officer has, the population of the town they're going through, and even the conditions of the road. If the crime isn't worth putting the public, the officer, and the suspect in danger, they say it's off.
We want to catch people when they commit crimes, but we also have to look at the big picture, and we have to do that balancing act where we worry about liability, and we want to make sure that everybody's safe.
Most departments have a policy that helps govern this. State Patrol told us if the officer has reasonable grounds, they're free to try and stop them in a chase. However, the policy specifies that a pursuit be discontinued when officers determine that the pursuit creates an unreasonable danger of death or great bodily harm to officers, those being pursued, or uninvolved persons. Dane County also includes multiple people in the call, from the deputy in the chase up to the patrol sergeant and officer in charge. Any of them can call it off too. Pierce said those layers are important. High-speed pursuits are emotional for the people involved, but in the end, they have to make a choice for someone's life.
It's frustrating when sometimes people get away, but you also know that you sometimes doing the right thing is letting them go and hope that you get them another day.
Dane County also holds multiple trainings on this topic for their deputies. They said what they drill in time and again is property can be replaced, people cannot.
Amy Reed reporting now. Amy, thank you. Police in Beaver Dam say a suspect drunk driver fleeing officers drove right into the side of the city's middle school overnight, bursting into flames. The driver, 22-year-old Ray Cortez, went right through the wall at West Mackey and Grove Street. Police say he was driving 80 to 90 miles per hour and estimate the damage in excess of $100,000. The school year doesn't start in Beaver Dam until a week from next Tuesday on September 3rd.
We are hearing from the president of Edgewood High School for the first time tonight since the school filed a federal lawsuit against the city of Madison over use of its athletic field. In a statement, President Mike Elliott writes, quote, "It was difficult to file a lawsuit against the city I love," adding, quote, "The city left us no option but to file in order to protect our rights." That lawsuit argues the private high school is the victim of religious discrimination, saying the city is arbitrarily banning Edgewood from playing games on its home field. The complaint points out that all of the city's public high schools and the UW are under the same land ordinances, but only Edgewood is not allowed to host games, particularly those at night. To read the entire statement from the president, Madison's mayor, and Edgewood's lawyer, we have all of that over on our website, channel3000.com.
Let's get a look at our first alert forecast now. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
It's a beautiful evening out there, Eric. Skies are clear to partly cloudy and temperatures are comfortable. As we look at the satellite and radar, you can see on the weather track very little of any kind of active weather across our part of the Midwest. And Doppler track, pretty much free of precipitation across the entire upper Midwest. High temperatures today were in the upper 70s or low 80s from Madison westward. North and east of Madison, temperatures reached the lower 70s before a lake breeze kicked in, and temperatures near the Lake Michigan shoreline are right around 60 degrees. Although we've cooled off to 61 here in Madison, temperatures are still in the middle 60s to our west. But notice the dew point temperatures. They've dropped into the middle 50s to lower 50s across much of southern Wisconsin. So by tomorrow morning, we'll be in the mid 50s with mostly clear skies. Skies will be sunny for tomorrow. It'll be a pleasant day with a high of 76. That's your News 3 Now First Alert forecast.
Gary, thank you so much. The man accused of firing a gun inside Visions nightclub has been found guilty on all the charges he faces. 35-year-old Cole Foster fired several shots inside the East Side establishment early last December. 4 people were hit by bullets. No one died. Foster's attorneys had previously argued he did not fire every shot that night and that his actions were in self-defense after he was stabbed.
An Eau Claire man is charged with threatening to shoot up his workplace. A criminal complaint filed in Eau Claire County Circuit Court says 31-year-old Kevin Pinkham told a coworker at the Menards Distribution Center that he planned to, quote, shoot up the place. Officials say 4 rifles and hundreds of rounds of ammunition were found at Pinkham's home, along with a pistol and more ammunition in his vehicle. State Department of Justice has hired a special prosecutor to continue an investigation into Richland Center Police Chief Lucas Clements. The Department of Criminal Investigation has already finished its portion. The state began investigating Clements in June, though officials won't say what wrongdoing is being investigated. Clements has been on paid administrative leave since then.
Madison police are looking for a man involved in a stabbing at a popular downtown park. Investigators say around 5 o'clock this evening, a 44-year-old was involved in a fight with someone he knew when he got stabbed. That victim was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police are still looking for the suspect. 8 people are recovering after 2 coach buses collided just a mile outside the Minnesota State Fair today. Police say an empty tour bus lost control and careened down a grassy embankment. The bus crashed head-on into the concrete median at the same time as another tour bus carrying 51 people slammed into it. Both drivers were taken to the hospital in serious condition. 6 other passengers were treated with mostly minor injuries. Businesses in Stoughton are facing limited access due to a construction project along Main Street.
Gabriella Becerra shares what steps store owners wish the city would have taken before the project started.
Access to businesses along Stoughton's Main Street construction project is possible, but it's not easy.
Originally, we were told that customers would have access to all of the stores in this construction zone, and just starting yesterday, I couldn't even get into the store myself. I had to park at a business outside of the construction zone and walk in.
And business owners say they wish the city would have given more notice about the limited access.
We've known for a couple of years now that these projects were being staged. In terms of the interruptions, the timing was a little bit condensed.
The City of Stoughton's Director of Planning and Development provided News 3 Now with this statement. There are 3 different crews working on underground infrastructure at the same time in this segment, likely reducing the closure time by about 2 weeks. I believe yesterday probably posed the most significant challenge for access, but has improved significantly this afternoon.
Are we disrupted? Yeah. Is business down this week? Yes. Am I hoping it bounces back either over the weekend or at the farmers markets that we'll be attending this week? I hope so.
Jessica Reichman says even a short amount of time can make a big difference for a small business owner.
If you think about 2 weeks of dropped foot traffic, it could mean 25 to 35% decrease in my income for the month.
And in the meantime, they're both getting creative in helping customers.
People just want to give us a call. And they have a particular product they're interested in, I'll walk it a block to take it to them, or else we'll find a way to deliver it to them. So I think there are things that businesses can do to make sure that customers who need their product right now can get access to it.
The Sweet Shop is posting photos daily on their Facebook page to give customers a look at what the road situation is like before making the trip. And Dandelion Outfitters will be closed on Friday and Saturday because of the construction. For more information on when the road is expected to be open, visit channel3000.com.
We now know where all delegations will be staying for next year's Democratic National Convention in Milwaukee, and nearly half of them won't even be staying in Wisconsin. 26 of the 57 delegations are staying in Illinois, and some as far as 80 miles away down near O'Hare Airport. The head of Wisconsin State Party says the hometown delegation received a solid draw right in the heart of Milwaukee.
One of the rarest bees in North America has been discovered in a northern Wisconsin forest. The U.S. Department of Agriculture says that they recently discovered that bee in the Chequamegon-Nicolet Forest. This is the first confirmed record of the bee in Wisconsin since 1910, when it was found in Dane County. No, thank you. Keep it away from me. Still ahead tonight, 2 teachers in Rock County are out hundreds of dollars after falling victim to a new kind of scam.
They say this one can be a text message from their boss, their call for action. Coming up next.
Welcome back. Scammers continue to get bolder with their attempts to steal our personal information and our money, and 2 teachers in Janesville are learning that firsthand.
They're the victims of a scam that actually came in the form of a text from their boss. Leah Lynchett has their call for action tonight from Rock County.
We're getting ready. I've always liked working with kids.
Simply put, that's why Sherry Gonterman became a teacher.
I really enjoy the connections I make with families so they can also help their kids learn.
It's her giving nature that's made her such a great educator for the past 25 years now. It's also why, when she received an email seemingly from her principal, she responded immediately.
I need you to do me a huge favor. And I said, well, what? And then she started typing more. I said, well, do you want to text me because it's too hard to do emails?
The conversation turned to text, where the principal's request became more pressing.
I need you to do something for me right away.
She was asking for an Amazon gift card from the local CVS and needed Sherry to send her a picture of the back. It wasn't until after Sherry did all that, returned to school and ran into her colleague with a Walgreens card in hand, that she realized something was amiss.
I came back to Roosevelt, and she was parking, getting out of her car, and I saw she had an Amazon gift card thingy in her thing. I said, oh no. I knew right then and there that it was bad.
Each teacher had spent $200 of their own money on gift cards they'd sent to someone in Kansas. Neither had noticed the Gmail account, purportedly owned by their principal, had misspelled her last name. By the time they called the store, both gift cards had been spent.
It wasn't about the money, it was more just feeling kind of violated.
They're very selfless. They love children.
When Sherry and Shelley called for action, volunteer Barb Clark picked up the phone.
They don't go into it because they know they're going to make a lot of money, because they don't.
This scam struck a chord because Barb understands more than most just how giving every teacher is.
I worked in education for many, many, many years.
Like all our Call for Action volunteers, Barb has a specialized background with a broad knowledge in her particular field. Along with years of social work, Barb started out her career as a teacher. And like Sherry, she has spent her own money on her students.
That was $200 that teacher and her comrade could have used for things for the classroom that were taken by someone.
Barb and the rest of the team have taken countless calls of gift card scams in the past. This is the first she's heard of, though, that involved texting, too. Her advice, be aware that this kind of thing happens. Be skeptical, question. Because if these kind of people can take advantage of the most giving among us.
To a teacher whom, is spending their money on children. Some people have no scruples.
With tonight's Call for Action in Janesville, I'm Leah Lynchide for News 3 Now.
We reached out to all three companies involved in the gift card scam: Amazon, CVS, and Walgreens.
Shelley and Sherry tell us Amazon is working with them to reimburse the $400 lost to the scammers.
And if you've been a victim of a scam like this, or maybe you've had a consumer question or complaint, our Call for Action volunteers can help with that. And they're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And you can reach them at the number there on your screen, 608-270-2833.
Keep up the good work, team. And Gary Canulty in now, and I will say the same to you. Keep up the good work over there, because this weather is...
I have nothing to do with it, but I'll, I'll just
You
go
should
along
just
with
take it for now, because in a few months, I think you'll be...
Makes my job a lot easier
There you
when
go.
weather's like this. Well, take a look at the sunrise this morning from the time-lapse from the WISC Skycam. Beautiful sunrise, clear skies this morning. Then we started to see some cumulus clouds pop up, but you can see as we got towards sunset, even those clouds started to die down. That's an indication that there's some cold air aloft, but the air near the ground is pretty dry, so you can't really see those clouds being supported enough to create any showers. And live view from the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison. Very quiet out there this evening. High temperature today, 78 degrees, low temperature 53. Right now we're sitting at 61 degrees. Notice how quickly that temperature has cooled down from the high of 78 earlier. Winds are out of the east at 6 miles per hour. Dew point temperature 55. Clear skies, light winds. That's pretty much where we're expecting the low temperature to be. If we take a look at future track precipitation from the European computer model, this is the upper Midwest. This is Monday morning at 12:30 a.m. This is from now until then. No rain expected anywhere around here. Then we see some showers and thunderstorms moving through later Monday into Tuesday, but even that should bring probably around a quarter to a half inch of rain unless you get caught underneath one of the heavier thunderstorms. And there are signs that toward the end of our forecast period, another spell of nice weather is on the way in. Temperatures with this dry air cool off pretty quickly at night. Last night, there were 40s in northern Wisconsin, low to mid 50s here. We'll see similar temperatures for tonight as those skies clear out. High temperatures held down because of the cloud cover up in Rhinelander at 66. La Crosse hit 80 degrees, and temperatures were in the upper 70s to around 80 for much of the Midwest. Now temperatures have already dropped to 49 in Rhinelander, but still are hanging around the 60-degree mark through the rest of the state. Upper level winds continue out of the north and northwest, at least for the time being. That's bringing down fresh Canadian air with low humidity. All the showers and thunderstorms pretty much along and south of a stationary front divides the warmer, more humid air to the south from the cooler and drier air to the north. And that's the dividing line right there. You can see high temperatures today. Low to mid 80s south of the front. Denver hit 93, but north of the front, mainly 60s, 70s, and a few low 80s. And right now, temperatures already in the upper 40s near the U.S.-Canadian border. South of the front, still in the mid 70s because the humidity levels are high there. Dew point temperatures around 70 degrees through Kansas and Missouri. But that air has dried out very nicely across the upper Midwest, and that will keep us pretty quiet. So on future track, you can see very little in the way of precipitation anywhere around our part of the Midwest. Lots of sunshine. The next weather system out to the west probably won't reach us until sometime later Monday as it tries to move in that area of high pressure. Notice these showers and storms just kind of fizzle as that just acts as a block, at least for the time being here, to keep us dry into the weekend. Overnight, mostly clear. Comfortable, low temperature dropping to 54. Tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, Pleasant, high temperature at 76 degrees. On future track, looking quiet conditions tonight, low temperatures mid-50s, high temperatures tomorrow mid-70s. Tomorrow night, clear skies, low temperatures back in the mid-50s. And on Saturday, high temperatures will get into the upper 70s. And as we take a look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, there will be a chance of showers and thunderstorms by Monday and Tuesday. Humidity levels up a bit there. A slight chance could linger into Wednesday. Another chance of showers and thunderstorms Friday. But notice Saturday and Sunday of next weekend, low 70s, sunny skies, and that trend looks like it'll continue into Labor Day Monday as well. We're in September by that point.
Yeah, but a lot of people looking forward to that weekend, the hoorah before the kids really go back to school.
The end of August should be a nice one this year compared to last year.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, thanks, Gary.
Thanks, Gary. The Packers and Raiders had to improvise a bit during tonight's preseason game up in Winnipeg. Stick around. Sports is next.
Technically, there was an NFL preseason game in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada tonight. You could call it that if you wanted. The Packers and Raiders trotted out all the backups tonight at Investors Group Field. The dimensions of the Canadian Football League are different, so the goalposts were moved and the holes left behind weren't covered sufficiently, so the NFL shortened the field to 80 yards. Yeah, Coach Matt LaFleur said new starters playing. That's as close as Aaron Rodgers got. Tim Boyle wants that backup job, and he wants it bad. Started cold, ended hot. Hits Trevor Davis for the touchdown to get the Packers on the board in the first half. 23 yards for the 6. 10-7 Raiders. Boyle again to Jake Kumaro. UW Whitewater stand up. Raiders would win on a last-second field goal, 22-21. Mercifully, the preseason finale next Thursday versus the Chiefs at Lambeau. Wisconsin running back Jonathan Taylor led the nation in carries and rushing yards last season, but he only caught 8 passes. He said he wants that number to increase by a lot. That's what training camp's for. But training camp's almost over. It's time to get ready for next Friday's season opener against South Florida. Taylor said the biggest adjustment to flipping the switch for game week is the mental approach.
I think it helps you a little bit in camp. You're trying to do a lot of things to get ready for the season. And so you end up doing a number of different things. So you then have the ability to maybe pull when you're talking about an in-game adjustment, or maybe you're working on it and just, okay, if this were to happen, then we need to go to this. But there's no doubt that you'll be adjusting a little bit.
The Badgers will practice tomorrow, have an off day Saturday, then start game week a day early on Sunday because they open next Friday at South Carolina. As you just saw, Coach Chris told us you have an idea of the opposition's personnel, but there's an adjustment component to prepare for the unexpected. Wisconsin, South Florida, a week from tomorrow already. Giants manager Bruce Bochy retiring after the season. Cubs honor him at home plate. Kyle Hendricks, sub-2 ERA at home this season. 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 7 Ks. Cubs offense didn't do much, but they did enough. Anthony Rizzo providing. Lines one to center. Jason Hayward can trot home. Scores the first and only run of the game. Rowan Wick out of a shaky Cubs bullpen. They've now won 5 in a row. Cubs win 1-0. The Brewers sit 4 games behind the Cubs in the division. They will welcome the Diamondbacks to Miller Park for the weekend. Well, the 12th season of Prep Mania High School Football Game of the Week. MG at the Key, Monona Grove and Wanakee. Wanakee ended Monona Grove's season last year. Silver Eagles want revenge. Jay Wilson, Bill Brophy, Alan Minert have the booth on channel3000.com, where the game will be live at 7 o'clock. Melissa Kim will join me on News 3 Now at 10 for the first edition of Prep Mania. One more break, and then we are back.
Gary says he knows about an NFL game with another game.
NFL championship game in 1934, Chicago was played indoors at Chicago Stadium because of an ice storm. The circus was gone. They had the dirt down on the floor. They played with an 80-yard field, so they had to turn around every time.
So it was a circus, just like the.
But it was the NFL championship.
Yeah, right, exactly.
They agreed not to kick field goals or anything. The Bears won, I think.
That was a mess tonight, by the way.
Clown showed up at the offensive line. It got really weird.
That was a mess. How about our forecast?
Well, you can't blame it on the weather around here anyway. Look at these temperatures. Lower 60s right now. The humidity levels are down. Dew point temperatures mid-50s. That's about how cool it will be for tonight. Highs mid-70s tomorrow, upper 70s for the weekend, around 80 with some thunderstorm chances Monday and Tuesday of next week. Another chance Friday, and then I think a great Labor Day weekend too.
High school football starts tomorrow night.
Brit Mania week 1 already.
Looks like a good night for it as well. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
We'll be back tomorrow. Have a great one.